Hi everybody. Hi, what's up? How you doing? So thank you so much to you guys for tuning in, for watching, for leaving comments and just giving me video suggestions and for basically just being a part of the community and for your support here on these videos. I really enjoy making them and sharing my stories and knowledge in the process. So, today I've got a really exciting episode. I want to talk about how to manifest an international move. Now, this is kind of very dear to me because it's one of the things that I learned how to do from a really young age. So, when I was about I'm gonna say about 13, when I was quite young, I started having the desire to live abroad. So, for context, I was born in Uganda and I lived there for about till I was about my late teens, early adulthood. So it started with having this desire to live abroad, and at the time, it was specifically to go to Leeds University. I don't remember why. I don't really remember why, but that's how it started. And yeah, I eventually did move abroad. I didn't go to Leeds, but I went to the University of Lincoln, and absolutely loved. I love that. I love the whole experience. And since then, I've had so many international moves. I've relocated so many times, and I'm kind of a little bit of a nomad in a way. So in that, I just enjoy the experience and I enjoy traveling and all that. So my most recent move wasn't so much just me. It was me and my husband. Now it was gonna be the first time that my husband would relocate to anywhere or move anywhere overseas. So it was obviously I used the same practices that I've used for all my other moves, which I'm gonna share in a minute. But I just want to give you a bit of a background story to it. So I used exactly the same practices, same steps that I've used for all my other moves, and it was a little bit harder. Maybe actually my first move was a bit harder because it took much longer, but this was equally a little bit hard. And I think the reason I found this one a little bit harder was because of what I know now as a law of attraction practitioner, law of assumption practitioner, whatever you want to call this law. And so I felt like everything should have been smooth, but it wasn't as smooth and it wasn't as fast as I wanted it to. But that's besides the point. We still did move. And I just remember when we first arrived here, just that feeling of, phew, I've done it again, and it was just such a good feeling. Okay, so what I'm just going to start by saying that there is nothing impossible and there is nothing too hard. So if you're watching this video and you're in maybe a country that requires a visa for you to travel anywhere, like in Uganda, I needed a visa to relocate to UK. So if you're in a similar situation whereby you live or you're born in a country whereby you need a visa or you need some type of lengthy paperwork to either get a place at a university abroad or a job offer from a company or anything, just don't feel discouraged by your circumstances. And in fact, the number one step that I want to mention is to completely ignore the circumstances that you find yourself in. So ignore the things that are required of you, not in not in an arrogance type of perspective, but if from a faith perspective. So your only job is to focus on exactly what you want. So how can you ignore the circumstances? You just want to put yourself in a state where you're constantly imagining, so create an imaginary scene in your mind, or if you're not really a visual person, create a conversation, hear an internal conversation of what would happen if you had already moved. What would you see? What would you experience? What would you hear? What are some of the things that would take place? If you maybe like food, you can imagine what would it feel to eat the food that is in that place that you would like to move. So that's step one, to ignore the circumstances that are currently sort of limiting you. There is nothing limiting you. It's all in our mind, and it's all about faith. So there are no limitations. It's all a matter of faith. So ignore the circumstances, don't be moved by them, just stay in the faith of the idea of the dream that you want, and you will keep getting guided towards the next step, and some opportunities will start coming to you. Okay, so the second step now is to find whichever way works well for you. Find a way that connects you constantly to that dream. I like to use the phrase touching the dream. So in my case, when I was first manifesting an international move, I had a prospectus from the University of Leeds. I think I may have found it at in the library where I was going to school. I really can't remember now because it's literally years and years ago. But I used that to sort of I sort of looked through the prospectus, and I kind of banned in my visual the look of the buildings and the feel of what it would feel like to actually walk on the campus. So maybe you can, we're now in the age of social media, you can maybe, if you really, for example, want to move to, I don't know, New York, you can just download pictures of New York and have it as a screensaver on your phone. When we did our most recent move, I went on Instagram and I typed in images of. So prior to that, I remembered like looking on Instagram before and seeing some really pretty pictures of that were taken in this particular town. And when it came time for me to manifest the move, I just went back on Instagram and tried to find similar pictures that had caught my attention before, and found these pictures, kind of memorized them. I would do visualization and meditation, which I do almost daily, and I would just be imagining myself in that city. I would walk on those cobbled streets. I would touch objects in my mind's eye, in my meditation. And because this time around I wasn't just manifesting the move for me, as manifesting for and with my husband as well. I would do that, but I would also feel his hand in mine, or I would feel him say something to me. I would ask him to take a picture of me, and but you're doing it from this playful point, from this fun. It has to be fun, otherwise it can start to feel a bit tiring, as because you're watching the clock and you're thinking this is maybe not going as quickly as I want. So you have to keep it fun, and you have to keep it sort of interesting. So that's the second step. Find something, whether that's a visual that sort of connects you to the town or the country that you want to manifest. If maybe you would like to get a scholarship to go to a prestigious school, then you can maybe buy a hoodie. These days you can buy hoodies of I don't know, Oxford University online, or anything, a scarf, or just find a picture of people graduating from the school and have it on your wall or something. And yeah, just keep that visual, burn that image in your mind, and your subconscious is taking all those things in, even though you personally do not know how it's going to happen. The what we've got, the reticular activating system. The more you're looking at things, the more it's thinking, okay, that's important to you, and then as it knows that it's important to you, it starts to bring people, opportunities, and situations to you that are going to align you and are going to help you to actually bring that to fruition. Okay, and the third step that I'm going to say is to be in gratitude. Um, I had to use gratitude a lot for this particular move, because we seem to have sort of delays and news that wasn't always pleasant. My husband needed a visa he needed two visas in order for us to do the move. So I had to use gratitude a lot when things look like they were not going so well. But even when things look like they're going, even when things are going well, it's not to just sit there and feel a bit cocky. It's to just be in the space of gratitude, of knowing that this is already yours and this is happening. And you want to do gratitude from the point of it's already happened. So you want to do gratitude as someone who is already living there, and you're walking around saying like, I'm just so happy to be living in I'm gonna use New York again. I'm so happy and so grateful to be living in New York. What a brilliant city, what a beautiful city. I meet the nicest people. New Yorkers are the nicest humans. I'm just so grateful that I have so many wonderful opportunities in this city. And you just saturating yourself in that attitude of gratitude, and you're just saturating yourself, and you're going like on tangents, if I may use that word. So you're going on tangents and you're just feeling so grateful, knowing that it has already happened, because if it had happened, you would be feeling grateful, wouldn't you? You would be feeling happy, you'd be just feeling ecstatic, the fact that you're now living in this place that you absolutely have dreamed of, that you like. So yeah, so that is my other powerful step in manifesting a move. So what else could you add on? These are already really powerful steps, and for me not wanting to make this video so long, what else can you add on? Do you know what? Keep yourself saturated in this dream. Don't let anything shake you. If you receive bad news, don't let anything shake you. And it's kind of like a rinse and repeat. But the final point that I'm gonna add on is for you to take action, and it might be really really small things you have to do. For example, if you're really, I remember when I really first wanted to moved to the UK, when I was obviously dreaming about going to University of Leeds. I started sort of giving away clothing that I thought was not suited for me there, and I didn't give all my clothing at once, but I started small, little by little. I would just have like the idea one day to give away something. I would look at maybe a shirt that I had, and I'd be like, you know what, that doesn't suit me as a student at the University of Leeds, so I'm gonna give that to someone else. And you just start doing that. So with our current move, I sort of started packing things before we actually moved, before everything went through. Some things remained packed, and we sort of lived in a minimal house, with only the things that we needed for our everyday to day life. The things that I thought needed to be we could do without, they were packed and ready to go, even though nothing was finalized. And then when everything was finalized, it just took me like a day or 2 days to just pack everything else, because half of the stuff was already in boxes. So what practical thing can you do if you're serious and you know that nothing can stop you and you're not going to fail and this is a done deal? What could you do? What are some of the things what step can you take in faith? So in the Bible there is a story of a woman that had I think she didn't have like enough oil, and the prophet said to her to like fill up the jars, but you cannot fill up the jars with you want oil, and someone is saying fill up the jars with what, or go borrow some extra jars, go borrow some extra containers because you're going to have so much oil. So she took that sort of step of faith and went and borrowed the extra containers in order to handle the breakthrough that was about to come to her. So that's my challenge to you today. What steps can you take towards your dream? If you're really serious, you need to think about how you can start taking some steps towards you moving into this new location that you're thinking of, and whether that means declaring and giving away some things, whether that means start saving money, just anything, whatever you feel led to do. Think of an action step that you can take that means you're really serious and you're committed to your dream. And when it finally happens, it's just absolutely phenomenal. So leave me a comment below. What if you're working on an international move? What country or city are you wanting to manifest? Just let me know so I can imagine for you. And just to let you know, guys, you can obviously use these steps to manifest anything else in life. There is no discrimination when it comes to manifesting. It all works the same, but these are just specific for anyone that is wanting to manifest an international move, or move to a different city, or move to a different job, to work for a different employer or whatever. You can use these steps to manifest that. So I hope you found these tips really helpful. Let me know below what you're committed to doing, and let me know what you're manifesting so I can imagine for you. And thank you so much, guys. I will see you on the next one. Bye.